What is going on, good people of YouTube? I'm ImJslay. Thank you so much for joining me, and wherever you are, I hope you're having a great day. Today we're playing some Madden 21, but before we get into it, if you enjoy the content, leave a like rating, and if you'd like to see more, hit the subscribe button, and turn the notification bell on to stay updated with all of my uploads. If you missed our previous video, I'll leave a link in the description of this video for you to go check it out. But in it, I show you the easiest way to get 45 sacks with Sam Mills, and in doing this, plus getting 1,500 team tackles in Ultimate Team, you're going to make yourself 155,000 coins. Be sure to check that video out. So for today's video, we have episode number 6 of Rebuilding the Atlanta Falcons. If you missed the previous episode, and if you've missed any episodes, go ahead and click on the card in the top right hand corner. I'm going to have a link to the playlist where you can go see each episode to get caught up with where we're at right now. But in our previous episode, we built off of a 10-6 year where we unfortunately lost in the playoffs. We built off that in the form of a 12-4 division title where we lost in the playoffs. Once again, the division round is just biting us. We lost 52-6 in episode number 4 against the Panthers. We lost, I believe it was 35-16 to the Bears, who would go on to make it to the Super Bowl. They would eventually lose, so we can take a little bit of solace in that. But we got to get past the division round, man. I think we have put a roster together that is going to allow us to do that this year. This is by far the strongest day one roster that we have put together in this rebuild. Let's go ahead and take a look at it, starting with the offensive line. We've got Trey Smith, Edward Scott, Matt Hennessy, Chris Lindstrom, and Jackson Carman. The only downside of this O-line is nobody has star or better development. We just haven't been able to get that thus far in the rebuild, and there's just been no offensive linemen in free agency. But this is a strong core, still a relatively young core when you take into account what we've got. And I like it going forward. We still need to upgrade it, in my opinion, and we're going to look to do that this offseason like we've looked to do just about every offseason. Dominic Darby and Ryan Izzo, the best backup tight end in the league. Dude had like 14 catches for 205 yards last year. No clue how he did that, but Dominic Darby has come on. He's got star development now, which you like to see that. He's had that for a couple episodes now, but we're going to look for him to take that next step and be that third receiving option that this team definitely needs. Now, we're going to get into the skill positions here, starting with Justin Fields. He's up to an 88 overall, and this guy, man, he has progressed every single episode. If he continues to progress going forward, he could take us deep into the playoffs. Journey Brown, this was a free agent that we picked up. Chuba Hubbard, he's gone. Dude, I couldn't take the 3.4 yards per carry average any longer. He's out. Journey Brown's in. Now, we did draft this running back. We actually drafted 2 running backs. Justin Irving, not Julius Irving. I believe his name is Justin. Hey, Josh. Hey, great name, brother. Josh Irving. All right, cool. So I don't know why I couldn't think of that. This guy we took in, I believe, the 4th round. Our 5th round pick, we took another running back, Jordan Alexander. This guy had the hidden development that you like to see. He's more of a power back. Journey Brown's more of that speed and elusive back. We did shift Kai Holloway over to fullback. He took a significant downgrade. But we're blessed right now at the running back position. As far as what we're working with talent-wise, we just need them to produce. All right, receiver position. I'm really excited about this group. Number 1, we've got Jalen Waddle. He's up to a 90 overall, still with that superstar development. You like to see that. Calvin Ridley is getting up in age. He is only an 87 overall, and he never actually reached that superstar potential, which I doubt with his age right now he's going to do, but he can definitely be a good number 2 receiver. But this guy right here we took in the draft last year, Brian Smith, I believe this was our 3rd round pick. He's got star better development, so you like to see that, but he's already got 94 speed. So in the slot, this dude could be an absolute monster. He could produce this year for us, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what he's going to do in the coming season. So that's the offense. Defensively, this is where we're shining. We're at an 89 overall defense starting day 1 right here. Starting with the D-line, we've got Keelan Dent, Grady Jarrett, Marlon Davidson, and Joseph Osai. Check this dude out, though. Corey Baker. I've mentioned him in the past couple episodes. I don't know how we're going to get him on the field, but he's only 24 years old. He's a 76 overall with star development. He actually did gain that because when we drafted him, he only had normal development, so you like to see that. This was our number 1 overall pick, Bobby Beckham. He was the number 1 player in the draft that we got at number 27. He's only got normal development, but most likely as the year goes on this year, I'm going to get him in there over Marlon Davidson. I just think it makes the most sense. Grady Jarrett Jarrett's up in age. He's around 32, but we're able to continue to sign him to 1- and 2-year deals. So you like to see that. Linebackers. Now, this is a strong core. However, they are getting up in age, right? Foye Oluokun, Deion Jones, Michael Walker. However, we've got some replacements that are going to look to step in once they get to the point where we just can't use them. Landon Little, Raheem Abbott, Nick Campbell. These guys are all under the age of 24, and they're going to be looking to step in to make some plays here in the next couple of episodes. Paris Ford and Isaiah Simmons are at the free safety position. Keanu Neal is holding down the strong safety position. And then the corners, we've got Caleb Farley, Darren Taylor, and Asante Samuel Jr. Asante Samuel we picked up in free agency. To play that slot corner, Isaiah Simmons is actually going to play the slot corner. I've actually got him. We'll scroll over to the specialist here. Special teams first, Sterling Hoffrichter, Younghoe Koo's back. Going to be kicking those field goals. Guy's got like 93% kick percentage this season. So if that can carry on in this rebuild, you like to see that too, right? Specialist, as we mentioned, Isaiah Simmons, he's going to be playing all over the field. He's at our slot cornerback. He's also at our backup sub linebacker position. Just looking to get him out on the field. I think he really made our defense shine last year. And then no changes here. Joseph Osai, Grady Jarrett, Bobby Beckham is going to slide into the rushing defensive tackle slot, and then Keelan Dent at the right end position. Brian Smith, as we mentioned, is going to play the slot. And then we've got our third down running back is Journey Brown. Our power running back, when we get into those power formations down on the goal line, it's going to be Jordan Alexander. All right, so that's the team. That is the squad. Let's take a brief look at our first 5 games. Now, we are going to be simulating the first 4 games, so we're going to simulate 1 quarter of the season, reconvene, see where we're at stat-wise, see if we need to make any changes, see what upgrades we've got, and then simulate each quarter, right? So the first 4 games, home against the Saints, home against the Seahawks, away against the Saints, and away against the Cowboys. Tough schedule starting off. I know the Cowboys have been good the past couple of years, and we've got 2 division games against the Saints, going ahead and getting them out of the way within the first 3 weeks. So we need to start off strong. That goes without saying. We're going to reconvene after that Week 4 matchup where we go on the road to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, so the first quarter of the season has concluded. We're off to a really good start. We're 3-1 right now. As you can see, though, our opponent in Week 5, the Carolina Panthers, they are also 3-1. The Saints are 2-1. Now, the Bucs are slipping behind a bit at 1-3, but it's a long season. We got a long way to go. One of those losses against the Saints was to us. One of those wins for the Saints was against us, right? So we split with them. Not all the worst thing in the world. That is our only loss so far. Let's go over here, though. Look at the schedule. See what we actually did through that first quarter. Started off strong, winning 24-14 at home against the Saints. Then we followed that up, beating the Seahawks 26-18. Going on the road, we slipped a bit, 24-16 against the Saints. But then we picked it back up on the road against the Cowboys in Arlington. Tough place to play, winning 31-28. You like to see that. Take a look at the stats so far. Let's see where we're at right now, stat-wise. How is our team doing? How are we performing thus far? 7th in offense. You like to see that. Defensively, 10th in defense. So we've got the top 10 offense, the top 10 defense as far as yardage goes. We are 18th in scoring, so we've got to score some more points. That Cowboys game helped out a lot. We're 7th in points allowed, so you'd like to see that. Definitely like to see that. Justin Fields looking good so far. He's 3rd in the league in passing with almost 1,200 yards. He's got 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Rushing. Okay, Journey Brown, he's at 3.7 yards per carry, so it's better than 3.4, right, which is what Chuba Hubbard was giving us. 52 carries, 190 yards, no touchdowns, but as you can see, our backup running back, who is the power back, right? So when we do get down to the goal line, he's going to get the ball, but 26 carries, 91 yards, 4 touchdowns. Justin Fields has 19 carries for 92 yards. I think that's his best start rushing so far, so you like to see that being that dual threat. Jalen Waddle, 25 catches, 335, and a touchdown. He's on pace for over 1,000. You like to see that. Dominic Darby, 20 catches. He's got 3 touchdowns so far, though, so you definitely like to see that. Calvin Ridley not doing the best receiving-wise at only 217 yards with no touchdowns. But Journey Brown providing a dual threat, not only running the ball, but as a receiver as well. 121 yards through the first 4 games. And then our 3rd-round pick, Brian Smith, albeit 9 carries for 120 yards. Not that great. Guy's got 3 touchdowns so far, so he's finding the end zone. You like to see that. Excited to see these defensive stats. Deion Jones, 27 tackles. Caleb Farley with 24. Darren Taylor with 23. Isaiah Simmons with 21. Have we registered some pressure on the quarterback? A little bit. This is a little down from our last couple episodes. Keelan Dent does have 3 sacks. You like to see that. Bobby Beckham with 2, so our first-round draft pick coming in. Marlon Davidson already has 2, so you like to see that. And then Joseph Osai with 1. None from Grady Jarrett so far, so possibly a bit concerning, but we'll see. Caleb Farley already has 2 picks, and then Darren Taylor with 1. So we're almost averaging 1 interception a game, so that's not too bad, especially from our corners. With our corners making plays like that, you definitely like to see that. So what upgrades do we have? Let's come over and let's see if we've got any players that have upgrades, and we do. I tell you, Brian Smith, he's already had 2 upgrades so far within the first 4 games. You like to see that. Maybe the guy's going to have better than star development. That'd be really good. Roman Abbott, our backup outside linebacker, someone that's going to possibly take over starting at some point within the next episode or 2. Let's go ahead and upgrade, get his pass coverage stats up just a little bit more. He's up to a 73 overall. And we definitely want to upgrade Jordan Alexander. This is our running back that we took in the 5th round that has that star or better development. He is that power back, has that power back archetype, so we want to go ahead and get him up. He's up to a 74 overall, so you like to see that. And we're just going to let the CPU handle the rest of the upgrades. Okay, cool. So Week 5, we've got a matchup away against the Panthers. We come back home to face the Bills and then the Buccaneers. We're on our bye, and then we go on the road to face the LA Rams. So we will catch you after that Week 9 matchup on the road against the Rams. Okay, second quarter of the season, not good. Not good at all. We are now 4-4. We're at the bottom of the division. Granted, we're only 2 games back of the Panthers, and we've got a game coming up with them in Week 12. But the Buccaneers must have heard and taken offense to what I said, because they turned it around. I don't think they lost a game that quarter. They beat us. We've got a matchup coming up against them on the road in Week 11. I mean, they handled us. We didn't put up a fight. Let's go through the schedule. Take a look at this next quarter. See where we're at. We started off with a loss against the Panthers, not good, but we bounced back. 45-20. Offense was clicking. Defense obviously played solid. Bounced back for a 45-20 win against the Bills, and then we go and lay an absolute egg, wet the bed on the road against the Buccaneers. You hate to see that. 27-9. Doesn't even look like we scored a touchdown. Looks like Koo was the only one that was doing anything. Shout out to Younghoe Koo. This looks very similar to our game against the Saints. Looks like we were just completely flat. Then we hit our bye, and then we go on the road against the Rams. Grady Jarrett was asking me on a bye week, hey, what do you want to do? Can we get some extra rest? I said, no. We're way too inconsistent right now. Win and loss, win, loss, win, loss. I said, we need to get some extra preparation. Did it work? Nah, because they went on and went over to LA and laid an egg, 28-14. I don't know what's going on. We're 4-4 right now. We might need to look to make some changes based on what the stats say here. Let's come in and see what we're looking at here. So we're 8th in offense. So we're moving the ball. That's good, but unlike, well, and we're 2nd in defense. So, I mean, we're playing well. We're just not scoring. So we got Dirk Cutter as our offensive coordinator, it seems, again. 7th in points allowed, so you like to see that. Jalen Waddle looks like he's having a pretty solid season so far. Justin Fields is having a solid season. I can't argue with that. Dude's on pace for what looks like to be almost 4,500 yards, 14 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions, so you like to see that. Rushing, Journey Brown's up to 400 yards. He's almost at that 4 yards per carry average, so you like to see that. Jordan Alexander with 58 carries for 211 yards and 5 touchdowns. All right, I mean, not too bad. Justin Fields with 166 yards rushing. Receiving, 653 yards from Waddle. Ridley's close to averaging enough for about 1,000, so you like to see that. Dominic Darby at 400 yards with 5 touchdowns, leading the team. Brian Smith did not have a good next quarter of the season. This guy, though, I feel like is going to be very strong. He's already gotten 3 upgrades so far, so you like to see that. Journey Brown, he looks like he's a good receiving back out of the backfield also. Defensively, let's take a look at these stats. Stat-wise, we look like we're pretty solid. I don't even know what we would change. Caleb Farley's making tackles all over the field, besting Deion Jones now, who's got 48 for Farley, 47 for Jones. Simmons with 45, not making any other impact plays other than just making tackles. And then Darren Taylor has 43 tackles. Quarterback sacks. Keelan Dent leading the team with 5.5, so you like to see that. Looks like he's going to get up over that 10 mark if he continues to average where he's at. Joseph Osei, our superstar X-Factor right in, has got to play a little bit better. Only 3 sacks. Looks like we're just not, we're playing well defensively. We're just not getting that kind of pressure, or at least maybe we're getting pressure. We're just not getting to the quarterback. Bobby Beckham and Marlon Davidson did not register a sack over that quarter. Grady had 1. So not a lot of sacks outside of Keelan Dent. Hopefully we can change that. And there's your problem. We didn't force any turnovers. We had 1 interception in this last quarter. That's Caleb Farley. So this dude is playing phenomenal. One of the best corners in the league, it would seem. We've got to get some more production. We've got to make some more turnovers. We've got to force some more turnovers. Somebody's got to step up and make some plays. Upgrades, what do we got here? Jordan Alexander, so you definitely like to see that. And I believe this is his second, possibly even third upgrade. I believe he got one in the preseason, so that's obviously a good thing. And then our right tackle, Jackson Carman. Although we can't get anybody on the offensive line to have that star development, we've still got some good overalls as far as the O-line goes. Jackson Carman's still only 25, so he's really young at an 82 overall. I feel like you like to see that, right? Okay, so we've got a home game against the Bears. We go on the road to face the Bucs, home against the Panthers, and then home against the Jets, who, if you remember, had the #1 seed in the AFC last season. So, got some home games, mostly home games coming up here. You got the 3-5 Bears. We got to get a win there. But regardless, man, I'll see you guys after that Week 13 matchup against the New York Jets. What a wild season so far. We finished out that quarter 3-1. So, obviously, that's good. Now, the Panthers are 9-3. They didn't lose the game. I don't believe they did, at least. So, we're still 2 games out in the loss column and the win column. So, 2 games out, right? But we did go ahead of the Saints and the Buccaneers. We had a big victory over the Bucs. Let's go ahead, though, take a look at what we did in that third quarter of the season. So we had a matchup against the Bears, 28-25. This was a Bears team that came in 3-5, so we only won by 3. We go on the road, though, to beat the Buccaneers, who were ahead of us in the division at the time. So that was a huge matchup there, 21-20. And then we come home and we lose 38-17 to the Panthers. Completely wet the bed, but we did bounce back against the Jets. Now, the Jets are not near as good of a team as they were. I believe they were 4-6 coming into this game, or 4-7, something like that. But we were able to beat them 31-28. So you like to see that. We are not handling anybody this year, though. The wins that we're getting, we are barely winning by 3 points. It looks like for the most part, really a touchdown or less. And when we're losing, I mean, we're getting blown out. So you don't like to see that at all. Let's come down, though. Let's take a look at the stats. What are we doing so far? We are 4th in offense. So 4,700 yards. You like to see that. We are 3rd in defense. We got the top 5 offense and defense when it comes to yardage. We're just not scoring points. That's where it comes down to. Once we get inside the 25-yard line, we're not scoring points, and now we've started to give up points, right? So you don't like to see that. You like to see the offense not giving up a lot, but maybe we turned the ball over a lot given the opposing team field position. Who knows? But I like the season out of Justin Fields. He's got 23 touchdowns going into the final quarter of the season. Let's hope he doesn't throw any interceptions. I don't really want him to get into that double-digit mark, although it looks like he's had a solid season so far, almost averaging 300 yards a game. He's got 3,500 passing yards, so that's good stuff there. Journey Brown, I mean, not even 600 yards going into the final quarter. I just don't know what this running back situation is. He's got 3.8 yards per carry, only 2 touchdowns. Justin Fields leading the team in the yards per carry department. Jordan Alexander has 7 touchdowns. I don't know, man. Maybe it's the playbook, the scheme. I couldn't tell you. But Calvin Ridley, man, did he step up over the past quarter of the season. 877 yards on 80 catches, 3 touchdowns. Jalen Waddle, 817 yards with 4 touchdowns. Dominic Darby's almost hit double-digit touchdowns. You like to see that. Brian Smith, it would appear, had a little bit better third quarter of the season. He's almost up at 500 yards. So looks like our receivers are starting to play a little bit better. They're coming along some there. You like to see that. Deion Jones back up leading the team in tackles with 89. Caleb Farley has 75. Isaiah Simmons, looks like we intercepted some passes. Isaiah Simmons has a pick, so you like to see that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the quarterback sacks. Show me Keelan Dent with 8.5. You like to see that. And Grady Jarrett has stepped up over the last quarter, having 5.5 sacks. Joseph Osai, a down season for him unless he's able to step it up in this last quarter of the season. 4 sacks. You don't like to see that from an 88 overall superstar X Factor. Deion Jones getting on the board, registering some sacks, 2.5. Looks like we were able to pressure the quarterback. That obviously helped us a lot in going 3-1. Hopefully we can pressure the quarterback down the stretch here. Corey Baker. Dude, like I said, I would love to get him on the field. I don't know where we're going to do it. But he's got 2 sacks, and Keanu Neal has a sack as well. It looks like we forced some turnovers, getting some interceptions in the third quarter of the season. Caleb Farley still with 3. Darren Taylor looks like had 1, and Isaiah Simmons had 1, and Paris Ford had 1 as well. So it looks like we had 3 picks over the last quarter of the season, so you definitely like to see that. Okay. What upgrades do we have? We've got a tough schedule coming up, rounding it out, man. We're blessed to have a lot of home games towards the front end of our schedule. Obviously, that means you're going to have some away games towards the back end. We'll get into that here in a second. Let's go ahead and upgrade these players, though. Trey Smith, we'll upgrade his power trait, getting him up to an 81 overall. So you like to see that. You can really see, though, where The XP boosts from being a star, superstar, X Factor really come into play because this guy needs 16,000 XP just to go up from an 81 to an 82, so you don't like to see that. Let's go ahead and upgrade Edward Scott. Let's upgrade his scheme fit. He's probably not going to upgrade his overall. That's unfortunate, but it is what it is. He does get a lot of attribute upgrades, so you like to see that. And Justin Fields is about to go up to a 90 overall. I'm going to upgrade his strong arm attribute, and he doesn't go up to a 90 overall, so just disregard what I said there. Unfortunate, because I think he would get another ability there. And then Josh Irving is going to get an upgrade here, and he is not a power back. I thought he was the elusive speed guy, but nonetheless, we'll upgrade him in his power back archetype, and he's going to go up to a 74 overall. Okay, look at this schedule. We are home against the Cardinals. Then we have to go on the road against the Patriots, the Dolphins, and the 49ers to close out the season. Hopefully, actually, before we go into this, let's take a look at the playoff schedule right now. So we are in as the number 5 seed. There are 7 seeds. You get 7 playoff seeds. The Packers have that 7th seed. So with one loss, we could slip right out. So that doesn't mean that us being the 5 seed guarantees that we're going to make the playoffs. The 5 seed right now, so we are in the playoffs. If we can finish strong here, we should have a wild card. If not, a bye. I doubt we're getting a bye, but we should have a wild card matchup. I'll catch you guys after that Week 17 match where we got to go on the road to Levi Stadium, the Big Bell Bottom, to play the 49ers. Okay, that started off horribly. We lost at home, and then we went on the road and won 3 in a row to get us to 10-6. Now, we lost the tiebreaker against the Panthers, so we don't win the division, but we do make the playoffs, and as you can see, we've got a wild card matchup against the Cardinals. Let's take a look. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Let's come to team schedule, and we are going to look at the regular season. We're going to come all the way down. So, we had a home matchup against the Cardinals, and we lost 29-25. So, we have a matchup against the team that just beat us 4 weeks ago. Now, then we go on the road to the Patriots, the Dolphins, the 49ers, and we win 31-28, 28-14, 31-10, respectively, to get us into the playoffs. So, man, if we're not primed and ready for a playoff run with that ending to the season, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't have anything else to say. I don't know. Let's take a look at the stats. 5th in offense, over 6,000 yards. You like to see that. 10th in defense, giving up 5,600 yards. We did end up coming up in points scored, almost 400. You like to see that. And we were 12th in the NFL in points allowed. Ridley went over 1,000. That is good to see. Justin Fields with 4,500 yards, and the dude did not throw an interception in that last quarter of the season. Best year of his career, 4,500 yards, 33 touchdowns, 9 picks, definitely leading us into the playoffs because our running backs aren't. Journey Brown stepped it up a little bit, I guess, but he dropped in his yards per carry, 33.7, 750 yards. Don't like to see that. 11 touchdowns from Jordan Alexander. I mean, literally, if you put Kai Holloway in there, Chuba Hubbard, whomever, it looks like that's what's going to happen. Justin Fields with 243 yards, so you like to see that. We got 2 receivers over 1,000. That's good stuff there. 1,095 from Ridley, 1,064 from Waddle. I'm going to go ahead and spoil it. This is Ridley's last year on the team. When you see who all we have to re-sign, there's no way I can justify keeping some of the players, and Ridley's going to be one of them. He's going to be a casualty. Thank goodness we've got Brian Smith, 42 catches, 740 yards, 7 touchdowns from the rookie. That's good stuff there. He did end up with that star development. Dominic Darby had 82 catches for 905 yards and 13 touchdowns. Got to be best tight end in the NFL, right? I mean, I would venture to say that's the case. Now, Journey Brown stepping it up in the receiving game, 30 catches, 368 yards. Stepping it up relative to what we're used to, right? Deion Jones with 114 tackles. Caleb Farley over 100 tackles. Isaiah Simmons with 90. Darren Taylor with 85. Quarterback sacks. Keelan Dent back to his old ways. 13.5 sacks. Last year he dipped a little bit. I believe he had like 8 or so. The year prior he had 14.5. So Keelan Dent is back to putting pressure on the quarterback. Grady Jarrett was 6.5. Joseph Osai was 6, so he had a couple towards that last quarter of the season. Bobby Beckham, good stuff there, 3.5. Marlon Davidson with 3. Deion Jones with 2.5. Corey Baker with 2. Neal and Raheem Baber with 1 apiece. Interceptions, I believe Deion and Caleb Farley are going to be leading the team. Or not Deion, sorry. Darren Taylor with 3. Caleb Farley with 3. So both of our starting corners ended up with 3. Interceptions, Isaiah Simmons with 2. He's going to have a larger role here. You're going to find out why in a second. But going into next season, Isaiah Simmons is going to have a much larger role. Keanu Neal with 1 and Paris Ford with 1. I don't care about the interception yards. I want to take a look. Did we force any fumbles? And if so, how many did we force? 3 forced fumbles and 2 fumble recoveries from Caleb Farley. He's going to be in top 5 of Defensive Player of the Year. I'm calling it right now. And then a couple from our other playmakers there. All right, awards. Let's come over here. Yearly awards. Who won MVP? Russell Wilson. Justin Fields coming in a close second. That would have been nice if he could have gotten MVP. Coach of the Year. We should be up there. This was an up and down season. We're a top 10. Look at all the teams with a 10-6 record. It's like everybody this year has a 7-3 or 6-4 record. All right. NFC Offensive Player of the Year, Russell Wilson. Yep, Justin Fields coming in second there. Defensive Player of the Year, Roquan Smith. No Falcons in there. Offensive Rookie goes to Jordan Alexander, so you like to see that. And Brian Smith, I would have rather Brian Smith have Offensive Rookie of the Year, if I'm honest. Defensive Rookie of the Year, there's Bobby Beckham at number 3. Okay, so we have some players to upgrade. Did I just see the Cardinals are in the play? They must have won their division at 6-10. Did I just see that? We're going to upgrade these players, and then we're going to take a look. This is Foye Oluwakon's only upgrade of the episode. You don't like to see that from a guy who's got superstar development. Isaiah Simmons getting an upgrade going into this wild card matchup, so you definitely like to see that. We're going to upgrade his zone archetype, his zone trait, getting him up to an 83 overall, so that's good stuff there. Bobby Beckham is going to go up to an 80 overall. Hopefully he can get that star development. That would be really, really nice if he's able to get that in the offseason. Nick Campbell is going to go up to an 80 overall. He's eating his Campbell's Chunky Soup. And Justin Fields, if he goes up to a 90 overall right here, and he is playing up, but he's up to a 92 with morale. I think in the last episode I said, and he doesn't get another trait, so you don't like to see that, but or another ability. I think in the last episode I said that I hope we can get him up to a 93 overall. He's at a 92 with morale. He's at a 91 just true overall there, so we got close, right? We got pretty close. All right. What we should not get anywhere close to is losing this game. They are 6-10. They won the NFC West at 6-10. So the NFC West has now become the NFC East. Not really, because I think a team in the NFC East is going to win that division with like 5 wins. That's just garbage. Okay, let's take a look at this bracket real quick. See what we've got going on. Number 1 seed's the Minnesota Vikings. 2 is the Panthers. And so on and so forth. You got the Saints-Panthers, a division matchup there in the wild card. Packers football team. And then the Falcons and the Cardinals. Over in the AFC, Titans-Chiefs. Chargers-Browns, Steelers-Bills, the Jacksonville Jaguars got the first-round bye in the AFC. So what a rebuild from them, similar to the Jets last year. All right, 3rd year in a row making the playoffs. You like to see that. 10-6, 12-4, and now following that up with a 10-6 season. Let's go ahead. Come on, don't lose. I know we lost at home to the Cardinals. We're on a road. Just give me this dub. Just give me the dub. 28-21. All right, we got some retribution over there, and we got to play the Packers in the divisional. Let's go ahead and upgrade some of the players here. Hopefully we'll get some good upgrades. Darren Taylor and Michael Walker. I think this is Michael Walker's first upgrade of the episode as well. So once again, from a superstar development player, you don't like to see that. But Darren Taylor's up to an 82. Maybe he can get star development in the offseason. I feel like he's earned it. I feel like he has. Let's go ahead and get Michael Walker up to an 84 overall. I've got some decisions to make with he and Foye coming up, that's for sure. We're gonna show you here the players that we're gonna have to re-sign. It's a lot of them, and it's a lot of important players. But we got this divisional matchup with the Packers. Let's take a look at the bracket here, see what shook out in that first wild card round. Saints beat the Panthers 33-3. They got a matchup with the Vikings. The Vikings have the Saints number in the playoffs. Packers beat the football team. We beat the Cardinals. So literally there was upsets galore from the wild card matchup in the NFC. Over at the AFC, Chiefs beat the Titans, Browns beat the Chargers, and the Bills beat the Steelers. So the complete reverse in the AFC as all of your higher seeds ended up winning. Okay, so let's go. Come on. I mean, just let's get to that conference. The division, we have falconed it up, and we have lost in the division round every single time. We're getting past it. We're getting past it this time. Show me a win. Oh, my God. 47-41. Why can't we hold a team under like 30 points in the division round? We score 41 points. We got to win the game. I'm mad if you can't tell. I'm mad. Look at the redness in my face. Oh, my goodness. Goodness gracious. You hate to see it, man. You really hate to see it. They are now going to play the Saints, the 7-seed Saints, who won 31-17. We'd have a home game in the NFC Championship had we have just clutched that up. And nothing surprising in the AFC as the number 2 seed Chiefs are facing the number 1 seed Jaguars. Oh, my Lord. Once again, the conference championship eludes us, man. Okay, well, I'm going to see you at the start of free agency, or right before, rather, where we've got some players to re-sign. Okay, so real quick before we re-sign some players, let's take a look at the retirements just to look at the top guys there. Keenan Allen retiring, J.J. Watt, David Bakhtiari, Kyle Fuller. Let's come down to the NFC South. J.J. Watt's there, Darrell Williams, and Ryan Jensen. All right, cool. Nobody from the Falcons, so you like to see that. Although we probably aren't going to have anybody that's old enough to retire on our team anyway. All right, cool. So look at these players that are hitting free agency or could potentially hit free agency. Grady Jarrett got Superstar X Factor, so at 33 years old, I would have loved to have seen that happen prior to now. But just look at the players here. Look at the players and the impacts that they've made on our team. Starting with just Matt Hennessy here, our center. We know nobody in offensive line is good in the draft, nor are they good when it comes to free agents. So he and Chris Lindstrom we definitely need to resign. I want to resign Nick Campbell. I don't think I'm going to resign Marlon Davidson. We'll just see where the cap is. Calvin Ridley is going to be another one that he's down to an 84 overall at 31. We're not going to resign him. We've got to resign Justin Fields. Keanu Neal is down to an 87. We're not going to resign him. I'm going to see on Grady Jarrett. I may bring him back. And then Caleb Farley, we have to resign him. The first one, though, we need to re-sign is Justin Fields. The guy wants 6 years. It's a $209 million offer. But we got to do it. This is our quarterback. I'm excited to sign such a great offer and stay with the team. Yeah, it's a great offer for you, brother. I know it is. Caleb Farley is the other one that we've got to re-sign, and he wants a $52.7 million offer. This is our best corner, probably at 93 overall, top 5 corner in the game. Test out free agency. It's not good. That is not good. We got to franchise him. Yeah, we're going to franchise tag Caleb Farley, and we'll try to shore him up in the offseason. Grady Jarrett, if he wants a 1-year deal, we can definitely do that. He does. We're going to have $31 million in cap room. We're going to go ahead and sign him to a 1-year deal. He's going to test out free agency as well, and we cannot franchise tag him, so you don't like to see that. Do we need to bring back Marlon Davidson now? Well, maybe. He's at an 80 overall. He's not progressing. He wants a $7 million deal. Got to bring back Nick Campbell here. I'm hoping he's going to want to take the offer that we're going to offer him. He's perfect. That's good. Good. You like to see that. And Chris Lindstrom, we're going to go ahead and extend him an offer. I hope he's going to want to continue to play for us. It's a $32 million deal. We got to do it because we know there's not going to be any guards in free agency. And this would be the year that there finally would be, right? We're going to go ahead and re-sign Matt Hennessy here too. And get him locked up. He's going to test out free agency, so we're not going to re-sign. So thank goodness we signed Chris Lindstrom. He is 29 overall, but I mean, once again, we got to have them. We got to bring him back, right? So let's go ahead. We'll re-sign Sterling Hoffrichter. Let's just go ahead and give him a $3 million deal, so we don't have to worry, or a 3-year deal, so we don't have to worry about it. And I think for the rest of them, I'm not gonna show them because they're not necessarily impact players on the team. But wait a second. Hey, brought him back. You thought he was gone. Oh no, Big Cat returned. He returned this season. He's up to a 69 overall. Told you he's getting up to a 70. It's gonna happen. I promise you that. And yeah, we'll bring back Young Waku. Why not? Let's give him a 3-year deal also. We got $27 million in cap room, so I don't think we're in such a bad spot here. I would have liked to have been able to bring back Grady Jarrett on that 1-year deal, 1 more year, Unfortunately, he did not want to sign. However, he is 33 years old. I'm not going to bring back Keanu Neal. Isaiah Simmons is going to be our starting strong safety going forward. I can't bring back Calvin Ridley. It does not make sense at all. I am going to try to re-sign Marlon Davidson here just for the simple fact that he only wants a one-year deal. And we're going to need a defensive tackle. He's going to test out free agency too. All right, cool, man. Nobody wants to retire. Hey, I guess maybe if I was, coming back to a team that loses out in the division round all the time, I wouldn't either. But, little do they know that's on them because they suck in the division round. All right, so I'm going to cut it here. We're going to go into the first round of free agency signings. I'll catch you guys there. Okay, so we're here in free agency. Travis Kelce's here, Stephon Gilmore, the aforementioned Grady Jarrett, Teron Armstead, Keanu Neal, we already knew, Brandon Scherf, so on and so forth. There's Calvin Ridley. So there is an offensive lineman here, right tackle Matthew Bohannon, who's 27 years old. He's a star development. I tried to trade for him before last season, and I can't remember which team he was on. It might have been the Steelers. I can't exactly remember. It probably wasn't. I wasn't able to get him. I'm going to go ahead and make him an offer here now, though. And we're going to up this. We're going to up this. And we're going to give him 3 years. Make that offer. It's going to leave us with $9 million in cap room if we are the first overall offer. We're not even close, as we are the 7th overall offer. So we're going to actually have to up this sum. Let's take a look here and see where we're at. And we are first now, so that is good to see. Hopefully we can get him. I'm going to actually go to... I'm going to do that right now while it's still on my mind. Darius Geis is somehow still at an 80 overall. No clue how that's happened. We are down significantly in overall, but we're going to have a strong draft here. We're going to spend the Coach XP to hopefully go to O-line free agency influence. We're going to max that out because we definitely need him to come in because that'll give us where we don't necessarily need to draft an O-lineman, right? So let's come back in and sign. View available free agents. I think that's probably the only guy that I want to re-sign, although I will see if I can just throw out some money at Grady Jarrett and see what he'll do. He's not going to sign. There's no way. 40 total points. If no one was going after him, we might have a shot. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and advance. And hopefully we're going to get the right tackle. Brian Bohannon, I believe was his name. Michael Bohannon. Maybe it's Mark Bohannon. I don't know. But he accepted, and that's all that matters. All right, cool. So I'm going to go ahead. We're going to simulate to the NFL draft, the 2026 NFL draft, where we need to hit some home runs with some prospects in this draft. Okay, man, am I happy what we were able to just do. We are kicking off the 2026 NFL Draft, trading Journey Brown. He's an 85 overall. He's 27 years old, but remember, we've got some running backs that we can slide in, and it doesn't matter who we put back there. They all suck anyway. We're trading Foye Oluokun, who is 32 years old now, and we are trading next year's 2027 round 3 pick, projected at number 94 overall, to the Colts. They are sending us their number 1 overall pick. It happens to be the 16th pick. So now we've got 2 number 1s, 1 number 2, and 2 number 3s. I feel like we're going to be able to hit some home runs in this draft, especially getting some needs that we really need. It goes without saying, right? If you're addressing needs, you need it. So let's go ahead. We're going to simulate to our first pick, which is now 16th overall. We also have the 27th pick. So the 27th pick has been very kind to us the last couple of years. And we're going to go ahead and make our selection. Okay, so while it's not a pressing need for us right now, I think I'm going to go with this 6'3", 186-pound corner out of NC State, Braylon Thomas. We do have Caleb Farley, who we've just locked up to a long-term agreement. We've got Darren Taylor. Our third corner is a bit of an issue as we've got Asante Samuel Jr. If this guy can come in, he's got good top skills at man coverage. You like to see the play rec and awareness from a corner. He's not the fastest corner in the world. He's only a 7th corner with 4.43, but he's got a great vert and broad jump. Tall guy, obviously. He's a man-to-man corner, has that archetype. The thing is that this guy right here, Latavius Lawton, is a pretty solid receiver. However, there's no other corners that I can take, and there's some pretty solid receivers that I can get for value in a later pick, right? So I think I'm going to take this guy here. There was a D tackle that I wanted to take. Unfortunately, he's gone. However, we've got some D tackles that we can take that I think are going to be very good for us. But nonetheless, I think I'm going to go with this Braylon Thomas here. We also could take a center. However, I think I can get them maybe one round later. We'll see. We do need a center. We are actually lacking that right now. However, there are a couple other centers that grade out really well down here that are third round projections but are first round talents. So I think my thought process here, if you can follow that, makes a lot of sense. I'm going to go ahead and take this Braylon Thomas. And he was ranked 7th in the draft. We drafted him at 16th, so we are trending right with the value picks here. He's got normal development, so you don't necessarily like to see that, but he's already a 75 overall. He does have 92 speed, which is pretty solid, and 77 man coverage, so not too bad. The press stats you'd like to see come up a good bit, right? But nonetheless, solid overall pick for us at the 16th pick, and this was something we didn't even have starting off, right? So you like to see that. We're going to go ahead and skip ahead to our next pick. And I just think that overall, this is the best option for us out there. These two centers are still on the board, and we definitely want to get a center, and I definitely want to get one of these D tackles as well. But I don't want to lose out on Shaq Cobb here, so I'm going to go ahead and draft him. He has normal development, 15th in true value. We drafted him at 27, so he's a 74 overall, so he's definitely going to be our 3rd overall receiver. I wish he had better development, but the dude is coming out with 97 speed right now. I mean, you can't argue with that. He's got 78 deep route running. We need the route running stats to come up, and that's something that we're going to look to upgrade as far as his archetype goes. A drop-off from Ridley nonetheless, but someone that I think will make our team better in the long run. So maybe we made a mistake. All of these centers have been drafted, so we're going to go into this season with a 71 overall center. Literally, there was 4 centers, and I thought I could definitely get one of them with the 2nd overall pick because a couple of them had a 5th round grade, but it looks like other teams had done their scouting. As you can see now, I mean, there's still some good value that we can get here. We can definitely draft for some needs, but I might have messed up. However, I really liked the potential in the one wide receiver that we got, and I definitely liked that corner also. We do have the first pick in the round 3, which is coming up here. I'm going to trade away. I'm going to go ahead and review the offers for this pick. And 2027 round 3, 2026 round 3, 2027 round 4, 2027 round 2, 2026 round 3. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with this Titans offer right here. It's a 2026 round 3 and 4, and then a 2027 round 7. So I like that. I think we're going to go ahead and accept that offer. And now we're going to go ahead and skip into our next user pick. Okay, so just about everybody is still here, as you can see. I'm going to go ahead and take Jimmy Caldwell now. Hopefully this is going to be a good decision. Not thrilled with the pick, I will say that, but let's see if he can surprise me here. 31 in true value. We draft him at 65. Does not have better development. You don't like to see that. He is a 72 overall. Helping out at our defensive tackle depth with the loss of Grady Jarrett. We're going to need it. You would have liked to have hit a home run on one of those D tackles, but nonetheless, we're going to go ahead and skip ahead here to our next user pick. We're picking 22nd in this round, and then we pick 27th in this round as well. So we've got some picks here in the 3rd round. You like to see that. Let's go ahead, come down to our draft board. We are picking good talent here. I think I'm going to take Trevor Timmons. I might as well. Guy looks like he's going to be a phenomenal player. And while we didn't get that better development with our 1st overall pick, or our first pick at wide receiver in Shaq Cobb, maybe Trevor Timmons is going to surprise us here. He's got normal development. He's 14th in true value. We took him at 86. Just can't find that better development. Although everybody that we're drafting is good value. He's a 74 overall, so we're going to have a good wide receiver, solid wide receiver core here. Maybe one of them can get that better development. Malik Moorhead actually looks like he's a better player. Let's take Malik Moorhead. Why not? Show a better. It's normal. It's a good pick. He's a 68 overall. You don't like to see that. Just can't find those better developments in this draft. However, we are finding value. I mean, every pick that we have selected here has been a valuable pick. We're picking in the 4th round now. Couple guys here. Rasheem Harris, probably going to take him. Pretty good top skills there. B press, C plus man, and C zone coverage. Didn't have the best combine, but nonetheless, you like to see where his top skills are, and he's graded out as a 2nd round talent. So let's go ahead and draft him. Normal development, once again, good pick. 71 overall, just not finding those or better developments. in this class. We are probably going to trade every single pick from here on out, so I'll see you guys where we're going to go over the team. Okay, now that the offseason has concluded, let's go ahead and take a look at the team that's going to be going into the year 2026. That'll be episode number 7, I believe. So, offensive line, we have upgraded, albeit slightly. We were able to sign Matthew Bohannon. I don't know why I thought Max. Matthew Bohannon to play right tackle, so we slid Jackson Carman over to play the left tackle position, slid Trey Smith down to play left guard, slid Edward Scott down to play the vacated center position from Matt Hennessy leaving. Chris Lindstrom still at right guard. So the offensive line looks similar, but a little better, right? Dominic Darby still holding down the tight end position. He's up to an 84 overall. Justin Fields is our quarterback. He is up to a 91 overall, so you'd love to see that. We give him a big contract in the offseason, and he's been carrying our team. 33 touchdowns, 9 picks last year, almost 4,500 yards. You like to see that from him. We're going to go with Jordan Alexander right off the bat as our starting running back. He does have that star development. I've switched Kai Holloway from fullback back to running back with the departure of Journey Brown. These are 2 power running backs, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Trey Jones, I think it's Tremaine Jones. He's our fullback, right? The receiver position, it could have been better if Shaq Cobb or Tim Timmons, what's his name? Trevor Timmons, not much different, would have been star or better development. Maybe they can get that during the season. But Brian Smith, Jalen Waddle, and Shaq Cobb make 3 of the fastest wide receivers that you're going to find in the NFL. I'm really excited to see what our skill positions are going to look like. Defensively, we still look really good, although we have changed a good bit, obviously, since episode number 1. The linebackers, so we have moved on from Foye Oluokun. We moved Landon Little to play the outside linebacker. He's up to an 80 overall at star development. Michael Walker still at left outside linebacker. He is 29, so we'll have to look to see about replacing him at some point. The same goes with Deion Jones, but he's still at a 91 overall, playing really well for us in the middle. Isaiah Simmons has taken the vacated strong safety position from Keanu Neal. And then you've got Paris Ford still at the free safety position. On the defensive line, we've got Joseph Osai, Bobby Beckham, and David Woodard now are our starting defensive tackles. And then Keelan Dent has superstar development. I forgot to show this, but Joseph Osai's superstar X Factor is Fearmonger. He still just has the 2 abilities, but Fearmonger, some pass rushers intimidate quarterbacks with their sheer presence. When they enter the zone, they can apply significant pressure on quarterbacks, even while engaged with blockers. And then we've got Keelan Dent now with superstar development. So he's going to get XP faster, and he also has 2 abilities. Secure tackler, so he's going to have high success rates when he uses conservative or diving tackles. And then adrenaline rush. Pass rushers with this ability will have all their pass rush points restored after they register a sack. Keelan Dent's getting 13 to 14 sacks a year, so that's good to see there, right? And then at the corner position, we've got Caleb Farley, one of the best corners in the game at 93 overall. Darren Taylor, and then our number 1 overall pick, Braylon Thomas. We're going to look to get him out on the field because I want to get him up to that star or better development. I would love to get Darren Taylor to star or better development too. It just hasn't happened thus far. And then Asante Samuel Jr. at the 4th cornerback spot. Special teams, Sterling Hoffrichter, Younghoe Koo, nothing different there. Only that Younghoe Koo is now at a 69 overall. You don't like to see that. And then our specialists. So Asante Samuel, he's a better slot fit than Braylon Thomas is. Although, once again, I want to get Thomas out on the field. But that's what we're going to look like there. Osai, Beckham, Corey Baker. So not a defensive tackle, but guy's got star development. There's not really a position for him on the ends. And with the departures of Marlon Davidson and Grady Jarrett, I'm going to put him at the rush D tackle spot number 2 just to see if he can get out on the field and make some plays. And then Keelan Dent at the rushing right end position. I may need to switch these 2. I don't know why they're at, I don't know why Keelan Dent's at left end and Osai's at right end. And then on the specialists, you've got Osai at left end and Dent at right end. I'm going to switch those 2 around, so they'll be flip-flopped. Deion Jones, the sub linebacker, with Landon Little right behind him. And then Shaq Cobb and Trevor Timmons are going to be our slot wide receivers that I'm going to interchange. I want Braylon Smith to be on the outside there. And then the 3rd down running back and power running back, I'm going to attempt to give Jordan Alexander the bulk of the carry, so I want him to be in at running back as much as he can, just to see what happens. We haven't gotten the production from our running backs, and I'd like to see them play a little better. But nonetheless, that is it for this episode. That's the team going into the next episode. I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, leave a like rating. If you have a comment relating to this series, or if you just want to say what's up, man, leave that in the comment section down below. I love interacting with each and every one of you down there. And if you'd like to see more content, hit the subscribe button and turn the notification bell on to stay updated with all of my uploads. I'm ImJslay. I'm signing out today. I'll catch you all on my next video.